Dear participants, thank you very much for inviting me to the Strategic Forum on Space Science, Post-Pandemic Cooperation in Space. Since 1 month, I'm the new COSPAR President following the Honorable Len Fisk. COSPAR is the oldest and largest international scientific society developed to promoting international cooperation in space research. COSPAR was founded in 1958 to provide a neutral forum for the scientific dialogue between scientists during the Cold War. Many nations have joined COSPAR since then. COSPAR members include today 46 national scientific institutions from all around the world, plus 13 international scientific unions. There are 12,000 space scientists from all around the world who participate in COSPAR's activities, attend our assemblies, participate in panels and roadmaps, and publish in our journals. The primary mission of COSPAR, endorsed by the International Scientific Council, is to promote on an international level scientific research in space, with emphasis on the exchange of results, information and opinions, and to provide a forum open to all scientists for the discussion of problems that may affect scientific space research. COSPAR provides science as a platform for dialogue, even in times of profound geopolitical conflict, and represents therefore a resource to restore and to preserve peace. The first mission is about dialogue among scientists, and the second mission is about encouraging international cooperation between space stakeholders worldwide. The tools COSPAR uses for promoting international cooperation are the biannual scientific assemblies, where scientists from around the world gather to share their scientific results and seek opportunities to develop bonds of friendship which ultimately lead to cooperative activities. And we have our off-year symposia, the next one being organized in Singapore in April 2023. COSPAR's next scientific assembly will be held in Busan in South Korea in July 2024. In South Korea, COSPAR is planning a predominantly in-person assembly, but hopes also to provide a robust live virtual component for participants who will not be able to attend the scientific assembly. COSPAR has 8 scientific commissions that cover all space science disciplines, from Earth and atmospheric science to planetary science, astrophysics, from solar and space plasma physics to life and microgravity sciences. COSPAR's commission are in charge of organizing the scientific program at our assemblies. COSPAR also has panels which are dedicated to special tasks, such as the COSPAR panel on planetary protection. Planetary protection is about protecting scientific investigations that are constructed and conducted in planetary environments from contamination of terrestrial materials, in particular terrestrial biological material. The only treaty that governs our activities in outer space is the UN Outer Space Treaty of 1967, which has been signed by more than 180 nations, including all the major spacefaring nations. The only science issue that is specifically addressed in the Outer Space Treaty is planetary protection, and actually includes an implementation process. COSPAR is a very critical component of this implementation process, with the specific endorsement of the United Nations Committee on the Peaceful Use of Outer Space, UN COPUOS. COSPAR thus maintains the planetary protection policy as a reference standard for guiding compliance with Article 9 of the Outer Space Treaty from 1967. And this can also serve as a model for other similar future agreements where COSPAR could play an important role. Another important COSPAR panel is the panel on space weather, which involves essentially all the organizations in the world, both governments and the private sector, who have the responsibility to forecast and help protect our civilization from catastrophic damage from severe space weather events. The panel on space weather is currently updating the highly influential space weather roadmap that COSPAR developed a couple of years ago. And the panel coordinates its activities with the United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs under a memorandum of understanding that includes a number of joint activities. COSPAR's panel on potentially environmentally detrimental activities in space pursues, in coordination with UNOSA, the very important topic of space debris. And COSPAR has also a very active panel on capacity building, whose intent is to increase the capability for space research in nations with developing space program, and particular among young researchers. Recently, COSPAR formed a committee on industry relations that 18 significant space companies have joined. COSPAR recognizes that there is important mutual interest for the benefit of both industry and COSPAR. A new panel on social sciences and humanities of COSPAR will cover the growing social and legal implications of the rapidly developing space sector. Finally, COSPAR has a task group on establishing a constellation of small satellites to measure the ionosphere for the purpose of predicting space weather. The constellation is to be assembled from small satellites from many nations, particularly those with developing space programs. And a subgroup of this task group, led by our colleague Wu Ji, is performing a similar exercise for the irradiation belts. In summary, COSPAR is the largest organization worldwide supporting international cooperation in space research. Building on its 64-year legacy of connecting scientists all over the world, COSPAR must keep pace with the rapidly expanding space sector and increase its scope and reach out to multiple stakeholders, leading and influencing the global space dialogue, and use its long-standing international network to support, bridge, and rebuild international science cooperation. I wish you a great conference.